Hi, everybody. It's Bob Huesler from The Fan. Coming up next, it's Locked Up Sports.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. He's Brett Grosso. This is Locked Up Sports. Mets postgame 3-1. A star is born. Nolan, Ryan, Mclean. Brett, what is up? Are we back in? Are we all in now on the Mets? No, right? I'm not.
No, I'm all in on Nolan McLean. I'm not even going to think beyond Nolan McLean today. All I'm going to think today is I feel like I've got a guy in the rotation that is fresh. There's some fresh blood that came to this team. Everything you could have asked for him worked out. It gives him that momentum going into the next start where it's not
but
like
the Phillies lost, Brett. The Phillies lost. We're only 5 games back. We're creeping in, right?
Huge deal. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it shows you how bad it was for us to lose, blowing that game yesterday. It's such a big deal. But forget all that, because I'm going to be honest with you. What do you think this means? Like, we know he's getting his next start. It's not a question.
Yeah, I listen. It means nothing, right? Because Steven Matz went out there and he got the 4 RBIs and 3 doubles, and he pitched 8 innings. But he wasn't as big a prospect as this is. Like, this is like our big guy. It's one of 2 or 3 big prospects, top 10 prospects. And he went out there and he pitched the best game the starter has pitched for the Mets in 2 months, right? I mean, we haven't seen anything like this.
It's so weird to have that feeling when you see a Mets pitcher standing on the mound in the 6th and a 0 up for the other team. Yeah. And you're just like, you feel pride. And you know what I felt? A little disgust.
I would have left him in.
I felt that way about it. That I was like that happy that a Met was standing on there was the sickest part about the whole thing. But I would have left him in too, but Mendoza's big thing with the rookie in his debut, and we've seen this, is leaving a good taste in his mouth. Having that confidence. If he gives up a 2-run home run or a double in the gap that ties the game right there, it feels like a different day for him. And he knew that the Mets could blow it. But he knew the Mets could blow it either way, and that even if they blew it later, it wouldn't have changed the fact that his start went the way that it went. And thank God Soto came in and was able to hold that down as much as it got. It was a little dicey. It was a little dicey all around.
Yeah, a little dicey all around. Even but you know what? It's also, you could say that he likes to do that with the rookies and this and that. But this was a game they had to win. Like, it's not like it's like go out there. We're gonna make sure you come out on a good note. Yeah. They had to win. They had no choice, right?
No.
They can't lose this game going into the Little League game tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, and you had to see that, he was clearly going to be a 6-out save for Diaz, and, it had to be. And
that's what I'm saying. It's a big game. You have to win now. You have to look at it. Who's better to get these last 2 outs in the 5th inning? Is it McLean or is it Soto? And, everybody that got these trades look awful. Because Helsley is a disaster. He's playing I'm adjusting to the new role, my new role with this team, which I hate because it's the same damn thing, right? It's the 8th inning, 9th inning. They're head cases. These closes are head cases, and if you can't separate it, what are we gonna do? You want to have the guy put up a 9 on the scoreboard, so you think it's the 9th inning, and he's blowing all these games. So you got to decide and Soto's been okay. Soto's been probably the bright spot, and Rogers stinks too. But Soto's been okay, so now you have to say, do I go with McLean? Because he's a kid, right? But he's pitching. These guys have never seen him. I would have left him in. I would have let him get one more base runner.
I would have too. I was actually surprised because I looked over and I was like, no, we're there now. He just needs a ground ball. We're 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. It's gonna be a ground ball, double play, or he's gonna strike the next guy out. He's looked good. Whatever Jeremy Hefner came out and said, which was be aggressive, throw your fastball, and he finally did, and that's when he actually got in that game, and he got in a good spot. And once he was able to do that, because he started trying to work around people, and you could see when the sweeper, he was trying to work it outside to hit that outside corner, and he was missing it. And it was like one of those, just throw strikes, man. That's not what you're here for.
Yeah.
And Hefner came out.
Stop thinking around and throw strikes is what he said to him.
And Hefner got into it, and he finally got it. And so at that point, I feel like he still had his stuff. He had only given up 2 hits. And I would have left him in for another batter and to see where it went, whether it be if he had any trouble, then you can still go to the next guy. But let me tell you, Soto ended up doing the job, got it done. You know, it was a little dicey, like you said. Alvarez had a little bit of trouble.
They still don't have a starter that can go 6 innings. They haven't, but it's 101 years since it's been a team with two.
I feel like they did today. We have a manager that won't let a starter go 6 innings.
He's a bad in-game manager. He's a bad in-game manager. I've been telling you guys for a month or to the whole season. He either takes the guy just out too early, leaves him in too long. Like, I would have left Minaya in last night, right? I would have left Minaya in, even though, listen, he gave up some runs, but he's your better pitcher, right? And then what happened? The whole thing fell apart last night. Was just, and they're all brutal losses. They've all been brutal losses. They had leads in all these games. Last night, you could tell early that it was going to be like a 10-6 or an 11-9 type of game. And the only reason it was even that close is because Alvarez hit the 3-run bomb in the bottom of the ninth. So, you know, but listen, today, you're right. It's about Nolan McLean today. He pitched really well. He looks like he's 40 years old, but he pitches like he's 20 years old. He looks like a Randy Johnson, like a poor man's Randy Johnson. That's like, 38, 40 years old. My wife said, how old is he?
I thought he looked like, I thought he looked a little bit more like Ginger Jeff McNeil. But there's a little bit of, but like you said, these minor league guys, when you get into your mid-20s, you are like, you're grizzled. I'm sorry. You go hang out down in the minors for like 5 years. And I don't know how many years he's been in the Mets organization at this point, where he's been like, but you go looking, like, you go ride the buses and go through some hot summers up in some bad towns with some bad food and, making no money. Let me tell you, those guys age pretty quickly. And he's good though, man. Let me tell you. That kid's stuff,
the crazy movement on it. Crazy movement.
And I think that's the best part about him is he's not your classic, I'm just here and I know how to throw 102 and good luck. He has style, he has finesse. He shows me a lot of that forget about Randy Johnson. That's not what I see from him. I see more of a Greg Maddux-y, like, trying to hit spots.
No, he throws way harder. He throws the ball hard.
That. No, very much so. But I'm saying that what his game is more trying to find spots and more playing a mind game of what's the best pitch. I have a bunch of pitches, and how can I, work this at bat into like being like, like almost like how do I outsmart the hitter? It's more about a mind game with him. He seems smart. He can hit his spots. His problem, like they talked about in the minors, is the walks. He's had 4 walks today. He averaged, something like 4 or 5 walks per 9. Like you said, he hasn't been known to go deep into games, but that's because they baby everybody in the minors because they knew this kid was the next thing. They've been limiting his innings. It's not because he's not capable. And even so today, he had more in the tank. I think he was at like 80 whatever pitches. His max in the minors was like 96. And I believe they can stretch him out to 100 when they need to. And let me tell you, he labored a little bit. He goes deep into counts. He gets into, some other stuff. So it's going to be hard to get a guy like that into the 8th, God forbid. But the kid made it into the 6th tonight. All the major leaguers that we've had, all the guys, none of them could do it. And when they did, it was labored. We should have had them out. It didn't work out. And it just shows you that blood, that like fresh blood coming into the lineup. It fueled this team, I believe, into holding that victory. Because it wasn't easy. It's not like the offense went out and got it for him today.
No, it was 1-0. It was 1-0 for the Lindor, and we'll get to Lindor because he's now red hot. Now, okay, Lindor's hot. Soto, a little bit, but Lindor's hitting the home runs. He's hitting the ball square. He's hitting the hard hit doubles. He's the first 2020 shortstop 5 straight years, I believe it was it right? 5 straight years, first 2020. And he stole the base again. He's just on time. And he looks like he's the leader now. He made that great over-the-shoulder catch as well earlier.
That was a big deal. Big deal. And Mullins was playing very deep with his speed. It's a little questionable how deep he's playing. But, with a guy like Lindor, I guess maybe he has a little bit of leeway, being like maybe I can cover the gaps, when Lindor's there to do a play just like he did. Because that was a big deal. He bobbles that or drops it. This game's a very different game. The guy goes 2 for 4, an RBI. You go look, and Soto, another one with a hit and an RBI. That was nice to see. You like to see that. The last night, the back-to-back, the Lindor Soto, them producing at that spot. everybody kind of got into it. And you look into, kind of how it went even later. Beatty, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. It's good to see him coming around a little bit. What about that? All right, what'd you think about Lindor getting thrown out at the plate? Him being sent.
Listen. Get rid of this third base coach, right?
What's going on?
And
Mendoza can't push the right buttons, either one of them.
Every time. And the third base coach is somebody, he's almost like an umpire, right? You don't want to be talking about the third base coach after the game because if you are, he probably screwed up. And we've been talking about him now for at least 3 or 4 different times he's been brought up. But come on. He was thrown out like 5 feet and it wasn't even a good throw.
But do you know what? People say, oh, the only time you're ever going to hear about them is when they're bad. That is so untrue right now because the Mets are on the verge of breaking the record for consecutive stolen bases, and Tony Richardson over at first base is getting all the praise in the world.
He doesn't. The first base coach does less. He takes the batting gloves. He doesn't do nothing. But he goes back, yells back.
No. He's getting the praise for it. I'm not saying it's that he's this guru. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they are actually talking about it on a daily basis on the broadcast about how they're getting these, and you've seen it, these running, jumping leads. And listen, they broke the Mets record. They're about to break Major League Baseball's record for consecutive steals. Now, This is inevitable stuff based on the rule changes, right? These are rule changes.
Yeah, because he throws over twice. With the pitch clock, you can sit it down to the end. And obviously. I mean,
and they're just less focused on that. And they're all so much worse at picking guys off.
You can't. I mean, listen, I'm okay with him sending him there, but he was out by almost 10 feet, and it wasn't a great throw.
No,
the throw was
he had
line, it was like a rainbow.
He had a bad read. It was on Lindor. Forget about the third base coach.
Yeah, but you got to see
Lindor
that.
Had a bad read. You're right. No, you're right. He should have been. I don't know. I did not see the follow up of if he was held, if he was waived, if he was just standing there like he does sometimes. I wasn't sure.
He waved him in.
But Lindor, I looked. I go. Oh, that's not going to even be close. Like I knew a bad throw. We all know which happens, right? The bad throws happen, or it bobbles. It's not a clean catch, one way or the other. But that was Major League Baseball players. 90% of the time, it's going to be a clean throw. You just got to beat it, and he did not beat that.
Now what? Now the bullpen we said came up big today. It was Soto. It was Diaz. Diaz, they got this good bullpen, but it's obviously not panning out with the things that they got at the trade deadline, right? So, but they can't even get there. That's a lot because they're coming in the 4th and 5th innings. But Diaz coming in for the 6-out save today, that shows you how big of a game it really was, right? I think Mendoza, and I said I don't think he can get fired. I'm starting to think it's starting to warm up. His seat's starting to warm up a little bit. One, because you got Boss Man, King Cohen, Uncle Stevie sitting not in his box the last couple of nights. He's been sitting down behind the plate. Yeah. He was in the seats. That's like the boss coming in being like, you know what, I'm not happy with what's going on here.
Yeah. I think it's more him coming down on the players than it is on the coaches. I don't think Mendoza's job with this administration and this front office is in jeopardy at all. I think that a lot of this...
They have the worst record in baseball since June 12th.
I think that Cohen and David Stearns take a lot of this responsibility on their own for putting so much trust in such a young group of guys. And they trust, and you're always going to trust Alonso, Lindor, Soto, and I am taking off that list Nimmo or McNeil, because those are the guys. There is a point, if this does not end well, and by not ending well, I mean making the postseason or missing the postseason.
It's a better chance they miss the postseason now.
But not ending well also is exiting in a wild card exit, a la Padres or Braves or whatever way you want to look at it. If that happens, the shakeup is not going to be Mendoza. We obviously know it's not going to be Stearns. It's not going to be. They still might sign Alonso, but I can see them, and there's nowhere to go with McNeil with Nimmo. So, but let me tell you, the core needs to change then. You have dead weight with McNeil and Nimmo. McNeil's got to go.
Well, Baseball Purist here says, and what's up, Baseball Purist? He says, put McNeil back in center field, right?
No, I don't doubt it.
McNeil's not a center fielder. I know he makes the plays out there. He's looked all right recently playing center field, but you finally got him some stability at second base, right? He's finally playing second base every day. And he's in there. He knows where he's going to play, because the Mets were like a little league team for the half of this year. McNeil didn't know where he was going to play. Played 3 innings here, 3 innings there. Yeah. And that's not easy to do. But McNeil, I fell out of favor. McNeil fell out of favor with me the last 2 years, because he went from batting champion to right in the tank. that this Mets season has turned to basically to garbage in 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, they were winning 7 in a row. Then they got the big trades at the trade deadline. He obviously didn't do enough at the trade deadline either, right? They needed a starting pitcher. They needed another starting pitcher.
No, because they didn't see it that way. They saw it as Manaea's going to be great. Senga's going to be great. Holmes is going to keep hanging in there. He's having just a little bit of a bad spell. Montas is going to come back with an injury. And worst case scenario,
what do you mean? You want to see? Oh, that's what they were thinking.
No, this is what Stearns is thinking at the deadline.
Montas came in last night. And it was the same old story.
Stearns thought that he had too many pitchers with Blackburn coming back and McGill coming back and Sproat and McLean down in the minors. He's sitting here going, get a starting pitcher. I have too many. The problem is you have a whole bunch of mediocre to below mediocre starting pitchers who are on a pretty good offensive team that may have peaked a little bit last year or even in the first half this year for Clay Holmes. And it's all, you need aces. You need 3 aces. You don't need 8 mediocre guys. You need 3 aces in the postseason.
They don't have an ace. They don't have an ace. Because you know what? Peterson's not an ace.
They're built for like a good regular season team. They're built to have like that right now, that deep bullpen, a whole bunch of starters they can fill in up and down from the minors, young guys who can come in and play any position. The problem is they don't have a lot of elite talent. They have Soto, Lindor, and Alonso. And other than that, they have no elite talent. And
but
Diaz,
they're built to win the games. They're not built to win games like they did today. They're built to win games like last night's game that they lost, right? Because they want to get enough out of it. The pitching's been terrible. No matter what, you can't win with your starters going 4 innings and just blowing up. And they get the offense. They've gotten the offense recently. They got enough pitching today. Now, this is new blood into infusing new blood, young blood into the team. And that kind of helps. Like, you could tell they wanted to win this game for him. I think Diaz was in there because it was a big win for the team they needed to win. But you could see Lindor pumping his fist, and then Alonso. They really wanted to win the game for McLean. Once he got that 1-0 lead and came out, and he got out of a big jam in the 3rd inning too when he got the behind the back catch.
The bus ride to Williamsport now is going to be such a different bus ride. 3-hour bus ride, 7:30 a.m. call at Citi Field for them tomorrow. A whole day's worth of press. You got to go sit through a game. That game, it's going to be so enjoyable for them. And that
I go back to what you said, bro. But what were we talking about? It's miserable. It was miserable. It's a miserable game tomorrow. Are you talking about McLean?
No. I'm talking about the experience would have been total misery if they lost that game for him. And now with him winning, it's actually they're like at least having a good bus ride and a good day, and there's some like good feelings. But let me tell you, they got to go into Williamsport now, play versus some kids. They gotta go. They gotta go. Win. Now,
I've seen a couple pictures that they might want to take back with them.
No, but you might be right. But let me tell you, the one guy who goes in there who's been pitching like a little leaguer, who's going to be on the mound there,
Clay Holmes. Like, why are we seeing? Why do I got to see Clay Holmes again?
This is the montage.
He's tired, Brett. He's tired. He's not going to pitch well. He's not going to pitch well.
No, but this is the same scenario as when Montas get that next start. Now, do you think that if Clay Holmes does his classic 3 1/3 in trouble, Mets are down 4 whatever in the 4th, do you think he gets another start, or do you think Sproat comes up?
I don't think he should have got this start. I mean, listen, we know, and it's not against him. It's not against him because he's not a bad pitcher. Yet he pitched well in the beginning of the season. We kind of knew this was going to happen with Clay Holmes because he's never gone this far in this many innings, and he's been a bullpen guy. That's why I said to you last show that I think he could be in the bullpen as a kind of a guy who came in like Soto did today. Come in, pitch, in the 5th inning, 6th inning, get them to that 7, 8, 9 spot, and get them to Diaz in a big spot. I think he can do that. Because like Montas, I don't want to see Montas anymore. Like you kick him off the team, leave him in Williamsport tomorrow. I don't want to see him. He came in last night, garbage. It's garbage. He stinks. Clay Holmes is okay. Clay Holmes, I think, can be an asset in the bullpen if they use him correctly. He's just tired, right? His arm, he's got a dead arm. He's not throwing. The velocity's not there. The movement on the ball's not there like it was. He's just teeing it up for them. But if he comes in to pitch 2 innings in a big spot, I think he could be a big addition to the bullpen. I don't want to see him on the mound starting these games anymore. I don't. He's not going to pitch well tomorrow. It's not going to go well.
What is our bullpen even going to be? At some point, Montas. I mean, like Montas shouldn't even be in the bullpen.
No, Montas. Leave him in Williamsport. Kick Montas out of the bus on the way back. I don't want to see Montas anymore.
I know, and then you have Blackburn who got demoted after having a great long haul. We need that. that 4 innings.
Listen, the bullpen's going to be garbage. It's going to be garbage if Roberts and if Helsley can't pitch well. That's it. Right? Forget about it. Our bullpen is now those 3 guys and another one and Reed. I don't want to see half these guys anymore.
That's been rough. Now Brooks Raley has
Brooks Raley. That's what I meant. Brooks Raley.
Brooks Raley has a rough outing, even though like he's probably who they should have went with anyway. Like at some point earlier in that game,
come on.
Or they should. I know it's tough, and then they look over and you're like, oh great, like Rogers, great, he can pitch every day. I go, we don't want to pitch every day. He gets a hit every day. He's giving up a hit and a run every day that cut it to a 1-run lead every day or a tie game every day. And,
like I'm almost at the point when you're like, maybe we give Brazoban another shot, right? And I should never be at that point.
Whoa. First of all, the Helsley intro. Turn it off.
That's what I said. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. You don't get a double intro like that.
Until you've done it for our team, until you've recorded your first clean inning, we don't have a fire entrance and music for you. You earn your trumpets around here, at least a little bit, and you have to have something.
I agree.
No, that stuff's bad news. And on top of that, enough of the stupid, celebrations mid-game when you've lost 14 out of 15, and you're out there celebrating a go-ahead home run with guys, come here, picture, while your other teammates hitting a home run. They're trying to
recreate last year. Last year came naturally.
It's not. Put your head down. Put your head down. Play baseball. The gimmicks are garbage, and that stuff's all good. You go win 5 in a row, 6 in a row. You guys can all do that stuff. You guys got your fanfare with your podium speeches with Pete Alonso out front.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that either. I don't need to see Alonso where we're losing games like that.
Back and forth. I'm done with it. This team's acting like they've been there before. This is their first year of this team, and every year is the first year of a new team. And this team stinks.
Yeah. No, listen, they stink. And you know what? Because June 12th seems to be the marker, the demarcation where everyone's going from. From that was the day that Alonso
threw it to Senga.
Senga,
Senga, and we said
Nancy
it. That was the one.
Basically like a Nancy Kerrigan thing with Alonso.
He's just taking people down one by one.
I told you, Alonso's got some Mackey Sasser in him, right? He's got a little Mackey Sasser in him. He can't throw the ball home half the time. Now, it hasn't reared its head recently, but it's going to come. Mackey Sasser couldn't throw the ball back to the pitcher. Alonso double clutching, and when he has to throw it home, and then he throw it underhand, he got Senga hurt. Senga's never been the same since.
Is it going to be where Alonso talks himself into a 5-year contract, and we have Alonso, and he ends up being like a problem? Like is that going to be good or bad? Like,
I don't know.
What's going to happen?
I think listen, you want to change the team and the culture and everything, then get rid of Alonso. No one's going to like it. Everybody wants to change the culture and change the whole team. They're sick of this team. Get rid of Alonso.
I'm telling you, if they have an early exit, something big's going to happen. There's definitely going to be at some point you're going to have to open the piggy bank up for a big starter or the trade market and go give away a boatload of prospects for a guy who's got at least a little bit of control, maybe for 2 years.
They've had 3 good weeks. They've had 3 good weeks, Brett, and then 3 good weeks in April.
They don't. They need to retool. They need to get rid of all the children, and decide which one's their guy, and the rest of them got to go to wherever.
Well, what do you think about that?
Options down to the minors.
Now, there's 2 things. Here. I'm going to bring this up
because I got one too. Yeah, good. I think we're getting into the same stuff.
Because the baseball purist had said this, and we got. I'm going to say hello here to my buddy Anthony. Anthony, who's a Yankees fan, and he's commenting the Mets are done. Listen, we know, Anthony. We know that they're probably done, but we're going to do this show anyway. But now do you go with this risky that the baseball purist says McLean, Tong, Sproat, and now you're just rolling. Now it's a full Hail Mary, right? Yeah. If you want to do that, you could do it. But you're basically waving the white flag, but we're just going to go one final charge and hope that we catch lightning in a bottle with these 3 panning out.
This is what you do. You go, Holmes has his bad start. Either he gets rocked, he can't go a long time.
Can't keep giving up wins. You're giving up games.
No, it's happening. Like, we're not changing tomorrow's start. We're talking about tomorrow's start. If it
I know.
We talk about this like Montas's start last time. We hope it doesn't go well, right? Like, we actually, in some ways, hope it doesn't go well. Now, if that happens, Sproat should get that spot, okay? Sproat should be put into that spot. Now, if Sproat falters and it doesn't work out for 1 start or 2 starts, Tong, you can't bring all 3.
No, because the likelihood of all 3 panning out, because we don't even know if this guy, if McLean's going to pan out, right? He could go in that bad start. So he had a good first start, it looked good. But
do you think that of the Manaya, Peterson, Senga that 2 of those 3 will pan out to be fitting for a 1, 2, or 3 slot in the postseason?
I thought
2 out of 3.
Mania, I don't trust
and
Mania
who do you
anymore.
have faith in? And who do you have faith in? Yeah, I
don't know. I don't know if I have faith. I do Mania because I saw him do it. But I don't have faith in any of these other guys yet. This guy just won a game. He won a game where he pitched 5+ innings in August, right? That's a lot different than a game 4 in October on the road, right? Big difference. Good. I like what I saw today, but come on. Let's not make it out to be.
Given what our rotation is today, no Sproat coming up, no Tong coming up, right?
I start Senga game 1. I start Senga game 1. That's my answer. That's who's up. So that's who's starting my game 1 is Senga because he's done it long enough. He usually gives you good games if he's not hurt. And we don't have a game 1 starter. They don't have an ace, right? I'd go Senga, Peterson, Mania Senga, Peterson, Mania is who I'd go. And now I got to see more of McLean and Sproat when he comes up and this and that.
Right.
But my other thing I was going to get into was where's Vientos? Like he's just all of a sudden off this team.
No, they have given up on him. They've done that with a few, same way the Yankees given up on Austin Wells. And you're
quick? I mean, he was big player last year. Why? So something happened, right? Is it
I think it may be.
Happy?
You know what? I think it may be. There's a plan, and I think that plan may be this kid's sitting for this many days, and then bring him back. And if
he's pissed, he's already pissed. He's made comments about it.
Good, they want that.
They're trying to piss him off. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I think that's what. But at the same time, it also gives those other guys that bigger opportunity. So now, if one of those guys takes the opportunity, Mauricio, which he's not. If you looked, he looked foolish at the plate, and the other ones are, if you look at, obviously McNeil keeping up, any kind of offense, which he honestly wasn't there today, but. Or Beatty, it's got to be Beatty or Mauricio. They're waiting for one of they're waiting for one of these guys to take the reins. And now Mauricio, you can plug him in there at third base, but the hitting's just not there, and it should be. Like he's good, and it's just not there. And so Mauricio's, I'm telling you,
this all happened
Vientos.
2 weeks ago. You could have traded Vientos. You could have traded Vientos for a starting pitcher. Why did they keep him?
I don't know.
Now all of a sudden, he's not on the team anymore. Basically,
and it goes even deeper than that because you look. Tyrone Taylor hasn't touched the field either. So now Tyrone Taylor is even as a pinch runner or as a defensive replacement.
I know. I think he should be a defensive replacement because he's the best
this is what's about to happen. This is what's about to happen, Bob. You're missing it. What's about to happen is they get an extra guy for the Little League game tomorrow. That extra guy is Luis Angel Acuna. He's coming up. He's already in the clubhouse today, hanging out, even though he's not on the roster. Tomorrow he's on the field. The next day, I think Tyrone Taylor's off the team.
What, put through waivers or something? Put on waivers?
I think because he can't go to the minors. He doesn't have an option.
See, I would have left him. I would have kept him because I think he could be a good defensive replacement in the late innings of a close game. You can't be messing things up out in the outfield, right? So you put him in there. You know he's going to make the play.
I know I'm with you. But I don't think that's what's happening. I think they're going to need that extra spot. They had to go send Blackburn down for McLean to come up. They have a very crunch with this roster right now, and who's going to stay up and who's going to stay down and who has options. Some of these guys don't have options to go down. Like Vientos can't go back down.
No, they can't. No,
that's not an option.
They can clear waivers. Now they got to clear waivers.
No,
they got to clear waivers to go down with no options.
Yeah.
And is that going to happen?
Rough. So it's a lot deeper than people realize. It's not just that we can put whoever we want wherever we want. There's certain guys who are not coming off this team, and if they do, they're going to be on another team.
Yeah, they'll be claimed. They'll be claimed by waivers. So Tyrone Taylor will get claimed by somebody. Somebody will claim him.
Don't be surprised if Acuna comes back up and doesn't come off this team for a while because the lack of need for Tyrone Taylor when Acuna will be necessary late in games, and he will be in there for a pinch runner, and he will. We've seen it. We like that spark with him. He just wasn't there offensively and wasn't getting as many at bats because they were trying to pump the other guys up. But hopefully, we get a little more of that Acuna that we saw last September.
It puzzles me how obviously 2 weeks ago they still valued Vientos somewhat, right? Because the teams were asking about Vientos.
No, they were waiting.
But now 2 weeks later, you don't. He's done. You could have done something for him.
Maybe
that
they
was just
didn't. They were just hoping he got hot for 2 weeks and they were going to trade him. I think that was it.
You don't think anybody would have taken Vientos after that year he had last year? God, think they get him on the cheap and roll the dice? I would have done that if I'm another team. I absolutely would have done that.
What you just said is the Mets are going to sell him on the cheap, and I don't think they're doing that with all the money and time and effort they put into a guy who jumped up and they saw what it was. I think they know that he's a couple good weeks or months or an off season, even when maybe from being packaged into a much greater deal than that. They didn't make the move to go further, but
Vientos is what's up with him. Lose him to nothing. Because he won't clear waivers.
Let me tell you, he will be implemented back into this lineup. It will be Vientos
Maybe he just
out
gets
there.
Pissed enough where he just starts playing well.
His biggest problem is going to be, where do you play Vientos? He's a DH or nothing pretty soon, and that's what he's going to be.
What happened? How did we get here with Vientos? He was going to be a superstar.
And let me tell you, did you see who's taking reps at first base this week? Juan Soto.
Yeah, listen. Yeah,
I'm just saying it's not for this year. That's nothing to do with that. But if you look when the guy's doing that,
why even bring that question into the locker room? But you know the reporters are going to ask about it. When you're on a nosedive, you've been the worst team in baseball for 2.5 months. You've lost God knows how many games in a row. You've lost 14 of 16. And now you're going to have the reporters going, why is Soto taking reps at first base? That's spinning. Well, here, what about this? You want to spin this?
When you're losing, you just got to throw. Oh, look, now we're talking about Soto at first base, and we're in the middle.
You want to talk about Soto, Brett? How many candles are on Soto's birthday cake?
Oh, should we ask BT or should we wait right now? Because
they obviously don't have a definitive birth certificate, right?
I heard there was 26 last year, and there's going to be 27 this year. But does the first year, like, you get a candle and you're one, but you lived the whole year, so you have one. Now the first.
He might be 35,
you don't get one when
right?
you're
He might
born,
be 35,
so
and we got an old man. That's 15 years.
I think BT said he's won the day he's born. That's not true. You're zero.
I give him credit. That's a risky topic to bring up. To be the first guy to bring it up. Ooh. And I know it's been asked like in the past and stuff, but
and then he said, no, he looks like it. He said, oh, no, he looks a little bit like it. I don't think
that. And people are calling him racist for it and everything like that. They're calling him racist, and it's not good.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's, I think it's more like
he's also a Yankee
looking
fan.
back on other guys.
He likes to needle Sal a little bit about it, about the Mets and everything. He doesn't like
but it's not that. But you look back as a Yankee fan, and you go back to guys who lied that came from, and you look at Mike Stanton. And you go, Mike Stanton was Giancarlo Stanton. This is not a topic that hasn't been breached before. That has not been how old is this player that's coming over?
We
for
had
multiple
Little League
reasons.
World Series, the team from the
Little
Bronx.
League World Series, whether it be guys who,
disqualified.
Depending on what year you're drafted. Just this recently, there was a top draft pick from Dominican Republic that was unsigned because it came out that he wasn't even the age that he was, so he shouldn't have been eligible for whatever he was there for. So this isn't uncommon, but the best response I saw was, do you think that Steve Cohen and David Stearns and their lowers are going to give $750 million to a guy who lied about his age? Not even about that he lied. Do you know what I mean? Like, that it's all out. There's a possibility of it's a scandal if he even lied by 2 years.
It's probably illegal.
I mean,
right? It's probably illegal. He would probably have to. It's avoided the contract.
It's fraud. No, it's fraud in the contract. Of course it is. And so you don't think that they went and looked into it. So it's just odd. Like, listen, it's one thing for guys like us on a random podcast to have that discussion, but for a guy to be sitting there on open air on WFAN, like, to bring up, because it is what he's relating to. It is what he's thinking about when he says that. And so he brought it up. People have the right that he opened up the door of why did he bring this up and what was he getting at, and he can backtrack all he wants, but
is he backtracking? I didn't even see. Did he back? Was he like,
he backtracked into, he looks like he's that, he looks like he's older. He looks like he's older. I'm just saying he looks like he's older.
Listen,
I'm not saying
anybody looks older. If anybody doesn't look their age, it's McLean. Looks like he's 45.
It's McLean. Or it's PT. Or it's PT.
He's like a juice head. He's gym rat. He's in there. Yeah, he's like that kind of guy. But hey, listen, today was good, right? And hey, if anybody, I forgot to even mention this. If anybody wants to join the show, talk about the Mets, McLean, you want to guess how old Soto is? Just just take a picture of that QR code in the bottom left of the screen and a couple quick buttons, and you're right. You join right into the show, and we'll give you a T-shirt. We're giving away T-shirts. I got this one. You can pick which one you want. I got this one. Brutally honest, occasionally wrong. I don't think that's like a personal one, but we got the Shea Stadium one. We got Loge Life, a Shea Stadium shirt. So if you call in and give us a good point, we will give you a shirt. So, but hey, listen, today it's about McLean, right? It's about the future. I hate saying it's about the future because it's not. It's about now. It's a pennant race, right? Mets are in a pennant race here. Yeah. They're 5 out. The Phillies are finally starting to flounder a little bit. The Reds are playing the Brewers right now. They're probably losing because the Brewers don't lose. You know, they're only a half game behind the Mets. The Reds might win. Reds are going to find themselves in the playoffs. What's going to happen?
Milwaukee just tied it in the top of the 9th.
Did they? Oh, I didn't know it was that late in the game. Okay. Real. Okay. What's the score?
2-2.
I should have
Top
known
of
that.
the
I have it
9th.
right in front of me.
Mid-9. So we're going to the bottom. Cincinnati's looking for a walk-off, and there you go.
So tomorrow, the Little League, Williamsport, Little League, what is it? Little League Classic. I think it's a good thing. I like it. And you know what?
This is awesome. Yeah, this is exactly what they should be doing.
Yeah, and there was a Long Island team by you out there that almost made it.
What do you think about these? So what do you think about these special events? So you have the Little League World Series Classic. You had the Field of Dreams game. Now you had the, like we have the hockey they had the one for baseball at the Speedway. Did you see that?
Yeah,
last week, 2 weeks ago.
I don't know what they had to have a rain delay. They had to come back the next day.
No, it's even worse. They didn't have enough food.
Yeah, but how do they have enough food? They get 100,000 people at these raceways every week. Those things draw 100,000 people every week.
No, and they didn't have. No, they totally blew it. So now
I heard it was bad. I heard it was bad.
No, they were handing out. They were handing out hot dogs, no bun, no anything, just the bun, just the dog. No, straight up. Here's a hot dog. Have a great day.
But what's the point of that, right? What's the point of having the race go around and the baseball game in the middle, right? That's what it was, right? The baseball game in the middle in the infield and the race going around at the same time.
No,
like, well, what are you doing? That's a little much.
No, that's not what was happening.
That's not what it was. That's what I thought it was. That's not what it was. What was it? What was it?
It was. This is funny. Now you're making me think like they should have done like multiple events. We should have like WNBA in the corner.
They did an NBA game back in the day.
And they should have like a guy like
aircraft carrier.
They should have that awesome high jumper, the guy who does the pole vault. They should have the one who keeps breaking the records. They should have him just mid game.
That's how they do the track and field, right? It's all going on at once in the infield, and they're running like the track on the outside.
And then it can be like a whole variety hour. We have Red Panda come out.
So now, so what happened? Red Panda's hurt, by the way. Red Panda fell off.
I know. I saw that. I felt bad for she's in big trouble. They better cover that.
What did they do? Because I was sure that
so
that's what it was.
It's literally just a baseball stadium set up in the track, so where there's that 130,000 people watching the baseball game, like
in the infield. Oh no!
Yes, but there was no track. No, they literally got rid of the track. They turned into a baseball field. All of it leveled down to. I'm talking like, do you know the amount of effort they went to it? And then it rained and it got ruined.
They come back the next day.
No,
and nobody.
They put in millions, Bob, into having 2 games played. Like it's a loss. Like you're barely even going to make the money back on what it is. It's more of an idea than it is a moneymaker. Like on TV and concessions, but the amount of for a 2-day event to bulldoze a racetrack and rebuild it.
Yeah, I don't know what they think. So to answer your question, that garbage. And it turned out, you know what? They got kicked in the face with it because it was a rain out, the food thing. But some of the stuff is cool. The Little League thing is cool. The Field of Dreams thing they did was cool, right? The Field of Dreams
Fire Fest. They were like, it's like Fire Fest.
That's what I was trying to think of that. That's what that's exactly what I was going to say, but I couldn't think of the name of it. But the Field of Dreams thing was cool. The Little League thing is cool, right? They get, but like you said, these guys don't want to go in there at 11 in the morning and watch a Little League game. Like that's brutal. And thank God they won today.
No,
because that's what they do, right? They got to get up at, like you said, 6 in the morning. You got to be at City Field.
They got the pregame ESPN interviews. The good guys are going to be in the full sit downs that are going to be aired during the game. Then it's going to be them with the kids interviews. Them like all of it. Then they got to show them what to do. Then they got to it's a whole it is crazy and good. They're gonna have fun with it. I'm sure they have a great time. The
NFL does the worst ones though. They as always they go for the money grab and they're like I was expecting at some point I was gonna get a cease and desist letter. That's how desist letter from the NFL because we said Super Bowl or they're like that petty. This is the NFL is. They go into they have people who dig into the ends of the internet. They just went and did Europe games, right? Where it's weird because they don't know when to cheer. They don't know when, what's going on. They're cheering punts and stuff like that. Like, it's just weird, So the NFL did a bad job with it, but every other one I think does. The NHL does a great job. The Winter Classic.
You see baseball purists talking about the Rickwood games. That's where they redid the. That's the tribute to the Negro League games. So where they went and they had they have San Francisco Giants versus St. Louis Cardinals. June 20th, 2024. I was just looking that one up. But,
okay.
I remember that one. That was actually pretty cool how they had that one set up. But
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, like I like
Field of
you know why
Dreams
there's so many baseball games and there's so many baseball games like you had, but have it set up where it's convenient. Don't be like, hey, the end of a long series where you're playing 16 games in a row. Let me drive you out on a bus to Pennsylvania.
How they convince the Mets to lose a home game, to lose a gate and lose like they're not getting any gate for that. They're not getting any concession because the concessions are like $1. It's like dollar hot dogs, dollar pizza, whatever.
No, you know Cohen negotiated that in his taxes. He's getting like double what you think back. He's like, that's a write-off. That's a write-off. That's, you know, don't even worry about it.
Because he does. Or they all chip in. The Mariners got to chip in. Because the Mets lose a home game here. And they're fantastic at home. Even as bad as they've been, I think they still might have the best home record in baseball. So, I mean,
we're going to find out what we like. We're going to see what their neutral site record is. It's a big deal. We're going to find out. Neutral site.
And it's just like bleachers. It's like the family and how do they pick what teams get to go to? Or they all go. They all go, right? Yeah, I'm sorry.
What do you mean they all go? What teams?
Like all the teams in the tournament. The tournament's just started.
Yeah. No.
They already got controversies, Brett.
No, I got it.
They already got controversies in this thing. Like this baseball.
First ring? No. Not in this political environment, Bob. First ring, Americans, the best ones. Right in the middle. That's the front field level.
It's not supposed to be like that. Little League is supposed to be
No.
Everybody wins.
And then next, Canada, back right corner.
Yeah, you got to have Chinese Taipei right in the front. They win every year. They win mostly years. They send the national team is what they do. That's why they win. They send national teams.
Who did we not let? We didn't let somebody in this year from South America. One of the teams weren't allowed in.
The Trump banned them or something?
Yeah, I mean, serious. Yeah, I mean, serious.
But they got controversies all over the place. They're stealing signs. Remember, did you see that?
That's
the guy with the bat flip. The guy with the bat flip. He got called out. His mother took him to court. Brett, it's ridiculous.
No, I saw that.
The guy hit a monster home run. He threw a bat flip. He got ejected from the game. He got a 1-game suspension. Yes. The mom took it to court, got an injunction so he could play the next game. And what are you doing? This is not Little League. That's not what Little League's all about.
What do you think it's about? You think it's about suspending kids?
It's about a green duffel bag that the coach carries on.
Not letting the kid. Oh yeah, you can't go play in the Little League World Series.
Bats.
You flip the bat, kid. You can't play in the Little League World Series.
Yeah, imagine that for that kid. And then his mom is embarrassing him enough to go and get an injunction in court where it's top of the news. Like, come on. And then your kids. What if your mom?
They love that.
What if your mom is the kid that's stealing signs? What if your son's the kid stealing signs?
They love that stuff. You're just famous. You can do if you do bad things. You're just more famous these days. Oh, it's the mom. It's a sign stealing mom.
When we were on the Mariners,
she's gonna be on TikTok tomorrow.
When we were on the Mariners,
signs,
which was
calling games.
Yeah, when we were on the Mariners, like the original Mariners with Jeremita's father. I remember we were like 16, 17. We went and played somewhere, and somebody on the bench had dip. And I put a lipper in, and I went out to center field, and I'm like, I was all types of messed up out in center field. I'm like, don't hit it out here today.
It started first. You missed it. So this is what happens. You put the dip in your mouth, okay? Yeah. You're on deck.
Yeah,
you're on deck.
I spit it
You're
on the
on
plate.
deck. You stand up in there, and I'm standing right next to the cage, and we're laughing because we see you. You're already a little off.
All messed up.
You're already a little off.
It's gross.
And
it's the grossest thing because you swallowed a little bit of it.
No, but what you don't get is dip in that league at that time was illegal. You're out. You're out of the league. And we look at this way. You know us. We're dying. We're losing our minds because there's a big wad on the plate. But then Bob's out, and Bob comes in from the outfield, and he looks like he's gonna die. And I get that because
I'm in bad shape, guys. I'm in bad shape. They're like, you're leading off.
I felt sick.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It was because I didn't know what I was doing. I just put a big lipper in. I swallowed some of it, and then it's all over.
Who was it?
Burning your throat.
Who was it? Nanny?
No, I think it was Craig the Name. Craig the Name. Do you remember him?
Oh.
That's who. And it's weird that I remember that name, and I'm friends with him on Facebook. If he's watching, I'm sorry for ratting you out here, but you're the one that brought the underage dip to the Sayville Mariners game and screwed me and got me all types of messed up out in center field, and then spitting it on the plate and getting ejected from the game. Bad stuff. I mean, look, listen, kids don't do tobacco.
Did you get a hit?
Yeah, we didn't get many hits that year. I didn't get many hits that year.
No, but I think it was the weird part. That was the weird part.
Passed out at first base.
I'm gonna rule that one a hit for you, Bob.
So,
official scoring, Bob got a hit.
Listen, big news today is obviously Nolan, Ryan, McLean.
Brett Beatty scoring 2 runs.
I don't like Beatty, but are we gonna go Nolan, Ryan, McLean? Right? We got to copyright that. Get a shirt
Nolan,
or something.
Ryan. Yeah,
Nolan, Ryan, McLean. Because I think the ball has tremendous. He's got tremendous movement on his pitches. He seems like he's tough out there. He wanted to stay out a little bit longer. I'm not a fan of his parents. I just didn't like the parents for some reason. What did you think? They're Southern, right? You saw that? You heard that?
You know what it was? They weren't. You always want the ones that go crazy, and they weren't them. They were just more subdued, and they were trying not to be like that. And even when Gelbs came up, the first thing Mom said was, "I don't want to talk."
Yeah. I didn't like that. That turned me off right away. The mom doesn't want to talk, and then he got her in there.
And it was a rookie move by Gelbs to say that.
Yeah, and then she interject, but then you know what? If you don't want to talk, Mom, keep your mouth shut. And then she jumped in there, and then that opened the door because then Gelbs went and asked her questions.
Do you think it was because of what Gelbs said? She was like, he said no, and now I have to.
She was listening. She's like, whoever the husband is, she's like, Bill, I don't want you to do this interview. I don't want to be on TV. I didn't do my makeup, whatever it was. And then he went over there, and she goes like, she was like this. Turned the other way, and then she was listening. She was ear hustling the whole conversation, and she's like, "No, that ain't right." And she jumped right in, and now that opened the door for Gelbs to ask the questions that he wanted to ask. And good for Gelbs. Put him on a courtroom floor maybe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like don't go halfway in. You're either in this interview, you're not in this interview.
Get out of the shot.
Get out of the shot, lady. Get out of the shot.
I did though. I didn't like. I said it to myself. I was like, "Oh, the Southern." I just didn't like the parents. It's such a bit. They got a 45-year-old son that they're calling 23 years old.
They're no Matt's grandfather. Tell you that much.
No, they're certainly not.
Last time, which is, by the way, the last time a Met won their debut at home.
Yeah, is it really? Yeah, listen, that was one of my favorite Mets. That's a great Mets game.
We talked about it the other day. Yeah. It was nothing like that. It was, but, what do you expect? The parents are just as nervous. Debut. It was their debut also.
This Little League game tomorrow may be like a spectacle and whatnot, but that's a big game. You can't lose 5 out of 6 they've won 2 already on this homestand, right? So
plus you're gonna know. Plus you're gonna know if God, if God forbid
Sunday Night Baseball, you're right.
If Phillies lose and the Reds lose leading up to that game, it's a big difference. Like if that happens tomorrow and the Mets gain that ground, you look back because Zach Wheeler's out now. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, and big news today is Zach Wheeler placed on the 15-day IL. He's going to be out with a blood clot in his shoulder, which could very well, in his right shoulder, which could very well mean, most likely, I'm telling you, rare that I'd see him come back for the season. Some people's careers can end if that's a lingering issue, or if you start to develop blood clots all the way. That's a huge loss for the Phillies. They have somewhat been stumbling, even though the Mets have not gained much ground because of it. The Mets need to take advantage tomorrow, man. Big time. You're exactly right.
Yeah, you got to win. You got to win these games because you can't be going on these streaks anymore. You got to turn it around. Because they're going to find themselves, because Philly's coming in here next week. Huge series. I'm going to go to those games. Huge series.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and you can't lose. You get swept, it's over. They're in next week. They play. They go on a 6-game road trip. I guess 7 if you want to count tomorrow. I don't know.
Philly?
No, it might be. I got to look at the schedule. It's 3 games, and they play them twice. They really haven't played the Philly much.
I got surgery Thursday, so I could probably extend that. I got surgery Thursday. I'm out Thursday, Friday. I'm out Thursday, Friday. No, I'm out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm back. I'll go. You know what? Depends on the series. I'll go back Tuesday. How's Tuesday sound?
All right. Well, hey, look, Alonso got a big hit today. Lindor is red hot. Maybe they put something together. This pitching's got to be better.
That's the big thing.
Not happy
as we
with
know,
Holmes pitching.
No. I think this bullpen stuff is not. I'm sorry. I cannot expect Helsley to go. He's got to prove it. But Rogers and Helsley, I don't believe they're going to keep doing this stuff.
That looks bad on
I like what I'm seeing from Gregory Soto. And even the stuff that happened with him really wasn't on him today. It was on Alvarez missing a ball.
Yeah, he's been the best of the bunch, but not great, though. Not great.
But I really believe that we're there with those guys. Those are, listen, it's as bad as you could see it. We're talking about rock bottom. We are, I hate it. We've said it 20 times this week. But I really believe they're going to be fine. This offense, if Lindor starts coming around,
would have been Diaz blowing this thing. They get that first ball dropping in center, a 2-run homer.
I said rock bottom. I said rock bottom like 7 games ago.
You know
and
what
I stopped saying it because I got so.
I did a show
stupid to
yesterday.
say it.
I said I'm not saying now. I'm not saying now or never.
No, I said I'm so sick of. I'm mad at myself now for even saying rock bottom.
I'm not saying now or never anymore because I've said it 5 times already this season, and I'm just contradicting myself because obviously it wasn't now or never, and then I said it again 2 weeks. I'm not saying it anymore.
It's true
because I'm not doing it. So that's it, Brett. Mets get a win today. Big win. Phillies lose. On to Williamsport tomorrow, Little League Classic. We'll see how that goes. Always fun to watch. Sunday Night Baseball, ESPN. And, that's it. Mets with a big win today. This was a must-have. I think tomorrow's a must-have, too. We'll see how the pitching goes with... Oh, and I wanted to this is what Baseball Pure said. He said he mixed his big league chew and dip into... listen, that's Bush League. That's Bush League. We put the full dipper. We put the full lipper in. And I almost threw up on home plate.
He gives the wrapper. He's a wrap it around the dip, and you got to wrap the gum around. And you dig it in. You dig it.
See.
No, man.
We'll see. So that's it for us. Thanks to everybody for watching. You want to find us? You can get us on all the social media. You can get us at lockedupsports.net, lockedupsports.net/follow. We'll give you all the links. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere. Twitch. Watch us on Twitch. No, but Brett, we get like 0 views on Twitch. Sometimes I go watch it on Twitch. I think because we're not video games.
You know what we need to do? We need to get like, especially when it comes down to these like really important games, we need to get that live stream. But the live stream where we put the camera, where we show a little Met scream in the corner. We got to put a game
I'm not getting sued for this.
Yeah, you are. We're gonna
dumped a lot of money into this damn show. All right. So for Brett Grasso, have a good night, everybody. I'm Bob Walters. See ya.